Hello everyone, it's China. Welcome to my channel. Wow, it has been so long since I filmed a video. My life kind of imploded starting at the beginning of this year. One horrible thing after the other happened. Um, I decided that I needed to take a break to let the dust settle. Things are finally starting to calm down, fingers crossed, and I'm so excited to be back with a completely different planner lineup than I started at the beginning of this year. So I thought we could have a little chat, talk about what I started out with at the beginning of this year, what I'm currently using now, why I decided to make the changes that I did, and then also sprinkle in some of my thoughts as far as planner lineups for 2025, because that's what we do here in the planner community. So I'm going to get started and give a little reminder of what I started out with and why I picked these planners, and then go through what I'm using now. So I started the year off with a 3 planner system. My thinking behind it was that I really wanted to kind of separate more of my functional planning from the super decorative planning that I was doing in my Happy Planner Mini that I used from 2023. I just felt like very cluttered and I didn't have enough space to organize my thoughts. So for my lineup, and I do have a video of this on my channel, and I'll also put in the description below any of the setups for the planners that I have here, just in case you're interested. But I was using this 2024-2025 Pen and Gear notebook as a monthly on-the-go planner. I decided to use this B6 Common Planner full year compact version as my catch-all. And then I had set up a Happy Planner Mini to use as my decorative outlet for memory keeping and some journaling. I will say this is not the planner that I set up at the beginning of this year. I moved in June, and there were just some things in that planner that I just wanted to leave behind. So this is a surrogate. I didn't want to bring that into my new space, so I actually tossed that. I'm that person. I just needed a clean slate. So let's kind of talk through first the catch-all planner, and then we'll go from there. So my first thing is I was using this planner. It is absolutely beautiful, and I hope this video can be helpful for people who are trying to make decisions for 2025. I think the Sterling ink launch is happening in September in pre-order, so this might be helpful in making your decision. It's absolutely beautiful. The paper is phenomenal. The setup is wonderful. There were just a few things that didn't really work for what I was going through at the time in my life. So one of the things is this space here, which I think if you do a lot of goal setting and you want to track that over the quarters and monthly, this is perfect for you. I was doing some mood and habit tracking in this section, but I had a hard time settling into this page here. I didn't really know what to do with it. And even though I had goals and I do like to track my progress, I don't track them in this much detail. And when my life started getting very unpredictable, it was really hard to focus on this breakdown. So while I do think this is helpful, it just wasn't helpful for me at the time. The second issue that I was having with this planner was that the grid was very light for me, and I needed some clear separation between the days of the week. So here in the spaces in between the days are times, if you like to time block. I do not time block, so I really didn't need the time here. Again, if that's something that you like to do, this would be a great planner for you. I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it was because I felt like all of the days kind of mushed in together because there was no clear line separating one day from the other. And I was just like going through a lot, and this was just like very difficult for me to handle. Everything else about this planner I really, really liked. I cannot get over how beautiful the paper is. It's a pleasure to write in. I guess one other thing that I had some difficulty with were that the extra pages are in the back, which I know is standard for types of planners like this. Hobonichi, some other types have the months all together, the weeks all together, and then any of your extra pages in the back. For some reason, I just forget about all of these. So I was doing some weekly wrap ups in the back, which I really enjoyed. But I would just forget stuff was back here, and I didn't like having to flip back and forth. I also do want to mention that one way that I was kind of getting around not having those defined lines is that I would, towards the end of me using this planner, I would actually write them, draw the lines in, and this did help. And that's when I knew that my issue with this planner was not like really the planner itself. It's just that I'm used to having a very clear separation between one day and the next, and that if I was going to change planners, I needed something that would be like that. So what I am currently using now, and I stopped using this, I want to say in March is when I stopped. So what I'm currently using now is this B6 Complete Weekly Vertical by Ara Estelle. I got this on sale. It's actually one of their, I guess they would call it like an oops version. Um, it was noted that the grid was a little off. I haven't noticed anything wrong with it. So this planner was $15. A friend of mine had the A5 version of this, and I saw a few features that I liked, and I am in love with this planner. I've been in it since the last week of March. I'm still in it now in August, and I'll just share a few reasons why I love this planner. So this is the monthly, this is an undated, and I went and dated everything in advance. So even though we're not into September yet, I dated all the way until the end of this year in the planner. And what you're probably seeing now is that one of the unique features of this planner specifically is that you have a monthly page and then 2 blank pages in between each month and also in between each week. And this solved that problem that I was having with all the extra pages being in the back. I love having this here. So I have my monthly setup. This month I did decorate, but usually I leave them blank. It just helps my brain process better. And then in these pages, because they're blank, I can do whatever I want. So for June, I decided to do a currently page and then a highlight page where I printed out some photos of some big moments that I had that month. So I visited my friend in London. I went to Paris. I moved, and my sister and my dad helped me in such big ways. Thank you. But the month before I moved in May, I used this kind of as a currently, but then also a list of things that I needed to buy and some errands that I needed to run before the move. This is amazing. This is what August is looking like. So I started to do some tracking here. I might do a flip through of this entire planner. And then this is my currently on my highlight page, which I haven't filled out yet. I like to do it at the end of the month. And then if we can take a look at the weeklies, I have a little thing here. This is how I am currently using my weekly pages. So because this is undated, I put the date here at the top, and I have been adding some decoration back to the planner. So I usually do just the bottom and maybe sides where I know that I don't need the space to write. And then these are the 2 extra pages, and I'll do a list for work, a list of errands. This is variable. Sometimes I put what I'm currently reading or what I'm listening to or how I'm feeling or a gratitude list. And then this page I've been doing a recap. So in May, my car was parked and got hit by a drunk driver and was totaled. So I ended up getting a new car. And I started teaching again in May, and this is a nice way for me to put memory keeping and planning in the same space and also be a little bit more decorative without taking away from the functionality that I need within my weekly spread. So I am very happy with this planner. This is actually this week that I'm in, so I'm still using it, and I plan to stay in this planner for the rest of the year. And for 2025, the pre-orders for RSL were last week. I think they ended at the beginning of this week. But I did order a A5 version of this. That's the only size that she's offering this year, which with what I plan to do with the rest of my lineup that you'll see, I think the A5 size will be perfect. If it's not broken, don't fix it. So that is the catch-all situation that I have. And we'll go to the memory planning. So again, this is not the same memory planner that I set up last year. This is my planner from 2023, but it was a Happy Planner mini setup. And I'll put in some pictures that I took on my Instagram of what the planner or what the memory keeping looked like. So this is a spread from New Year's Eve to New Year's Day, and I put some boxes down. I had some photos here from the New Year's Eve party that I went to and put my thoughts in. And I realized that one, this wasn't enough space for me to, I guess, properly memory plan in the mini if I wanted to add photos. And then also, I think I outgrew that style of decorating with the boxes and things like that. You'll see, as you saw in my catch-all, I do like to have some decoration, but in a way that still allows me to write and use the planner. And yeah, I think with everything that was going on in my life, I still found it very I guess challenging or tiring, exhausting to decorate a spread like this every week. I just started to dread it and I didn't want to do it. So I stopped. So after that, I still wanted a space to kind of memory keep and plan. So I moved into a Hobonichi Techo 2024 Hobonichi Cousin. And I wasn't using, and I apologize for the glare, it has a plastic cover on it. I wasn't using the weeks, I wasn't planning in this, I wasn't using the monthly, but I was using the daily pages to do some journaling so I could process some of the feelings of what was coming up for me. And it was extremely helpful. So this is an example. I would do some memory keeping in this and then also some journaling. And this is when I went to Miami with my friend, and I printed out some photos and wrote where we went. And then there's a lot of personal information in here, so I had to try to pick something that wasn't too bad. But this is kind of what my journaling spreads would look like. And I'd add a little bit of decoration and some photos if I wanted to. And I kept up with this pretty much, I want to say, until May, and then I started to fall off and have some blank pages. And I don't know if anyone else is like this, but once I miss a few days, I really dislike blank pages. Like, it's a done deal for me. And so I missed a few days, and then I got back on, and then I missed some more. And so this is when my car actually got crashed into. And I was just like, all right, I'm done. And I think I did a few more pages, but I realized that, yeah, I realized that this just wasn't going to be useful for me. And another thing is just like, the grid is really small, and for the A5 size, I just felt like it was hard for me to consistently fill up an entire page, even though I didn't have to. I just knew maybe there was something better for me than using the Hobonichi. But I don't regret this purchase. It served a fantastic purpose while I needed it to, and I always have this here to kind of recount that moment in my life. So what I am currently using for journaling and some memory keeping, although I think when I moved to the A5 in 2025, Aura Estelle, I'm going to do my memory keeping and planning in that, since it is a larger size, and maybe keep this strictly for journaling. But this is a Artist Loft journal from Michaels. It was $10, I think, and it has 192 pages. I believe it's 160 or 120 GSM paper, and I've been using this for some journaling. And right now I've been in it since July. What I do is I make a cover page, and then these are what the spreads pretty much look like. And because it's just a blank dot grid journal, if I miss a day, that's fine. I just don't put a page together, and I'll usually just put what day of the week it is and the date, and then I use like little titles for what I want to journal about. And I do decorate, but you can see that it's pretty minimal off to the side, so I still have ample room for journaling. And on days when I don't have a lot to say, I'll just fit multiple days onto a 2-page spread. So I was on a family trip for actually a family reunion, and I put Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on these 2 pages. So this has been a lot of fun. It allows me to be creative, but also process a lot of feelings. And with the start of each month, I'll do like a little cover page. So this is my cover page for August, and then I just go into my journaling. So I plan to, for 2025, I'm just going to keep using this journal until it's all filled up, and I'll probably get another one. I thought about maybe getting like a nice Archer and Olive dot grid journal, but this is great. I don't have any bleed through. When I write with a fountain pen, so I'm currently using the Pilot Kakuno, and I don't have any bleed through, markers, Tombos, the Crayola Super Tips, they don't bleed through either. I'm very impressed with this. So I'll probably grab another one for 2025 and use that in the same way. And lastly is my little pocket planner here. So this was a monthly planner, and I was using it to use on the go. I have a tendency to overplan or overschedule myself. So I thought if I had this maybe in my purse or my bag, I could keep track of some dates. But I think I used this until April, and then I kind of stopped. So I think I used my old planner system or my old planner lineup until April, and I realized it wasn't working for me, and then I made the change. What I'm currently using now, we'll have to go on a little bit of a field trip. I am now using, in place of this, a dry erase board that is a monthly, and I have this located right next to my door, so I can see it as I come in and out. I think when you're going through a lot of big, sometimes traumatic changes, or at least I can speak for myself, I started to experience a lot of brain fog, and I was forgetting a lot of things. And having this monthly calendar right next to my door allowed me to see it as soon as I walked in, as soon as I left, and it would kind of jog my memory of like, oh, okay, especially as I was moving. I had to remind myself to, cancel things at the old apartment, set up things at the new apartment, and I was forgetting a lot. So I know when we typically think of planner lineups or planners, we tend to think of paper-based systems and maybe even digital systems. But for anyone who maybe has difficulty remembering things, I highly recommend something like this monthly dry erase board. It has been doing a lot of heavy lifting in my planner lineup, especially because I typically don't have my actual catch-all planner open all the time. So if I'm cooking dinner, I can look at the whiteboard. If I'm just sitting and watching TV, it's right there, and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I do have to do this thing as I see it. I also have another dry erase board in my system, and this is located right above my desk area in my room. And I drew a little calendar here. It's completely blank, but I've been making a must-do list and a wish list, and this helps me. I typically keep things here, like stuff that I have to do for when I teach or things that I have to do at my desk, and it serves the same function. Right before I go to sleep at night, I journal here, and if there's something that pops up in my head, I write it on the dry erase board. And the best part about all of this is that it is not permanent. So if plans get canceled, if something changes, I just erase it, and it is no big deal. So that is essentially it. This is what I am using currently and will be using for the end of this year. And yeah, we'll see if there are any changes in my thought process as far as 2025 is concerned. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I am looking forward to filming more content and posting more videos and engaging more. And yeah, I'd like to hear below, do you have any changes in your lineup? And really curious as to what your thoughts are for 2025. It's kind of wild that we think about these things in August, but it's what we do. If we want to get in during the pre-orders, we have to have these thought processes. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.